Alright guys, so we're going to be installing the pod light, the dual LED, right there, and the 2021 Defender. This works on the 2020 and the 2022 as well. So right out of the package, it doesn't come fully assembled, so I'll show as soon as we get it up on the roof. But for right now I have it actually assembled here, and then I'm just going to be applying the 3M extra strength molding tape. So we're just gonna be applying that to all the flat surfaces on the light. That way it'll stick up on the roof. So just gonna start on all these flat spots. Just make sure you press as you go. Nice thing about this tape too is you can dry fit the light after you put the tape down, so you can make sure you get your measurements all right. And this is the same stuff that they use for mounting moldings and other bits of cars like wings to the back of your trunk. And once you get to your end spot, just make a quick cut. And I'm just going to do that on the front of the light, in the middle, supports, and then maybe a couple pieces on the side too. All right. So for reference, I use 2 full 5-foot roll of the 3M tapes, and then about 1.5 foot extra from the 15-foot roll. So about 12 foot total. So if you get the 15-foot roll, you'll be fine to mount the whole thing on it. So now we're gonna put the light on the roof and just mock it up and use some painter's tape. Make sure that it fits all good, and then we'll come back and place it on. I'm good on my side.
So does it go straight to the seam?
It should go straight. Holy Steve, back here, guy.
Yes.
Like gloss black?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip that my way.
We're ready to place the light. So we wax and grease removered the whole roof. Cleaned it, and we use a hot heat gun to warm it up. And we're gonna place it at our tape marks. We're gonna unscrew the top cap, press all the lights down, and then reinstall the top cap. So there we go. Cap off. Some things to note here. These washers that you put in that are threaded for the screws to come in from the top to actually screw the cap down on. The flat side is on the top and the nut side is on the bottom. That way the screw can actually thread into it, although it's pretty self-explanatory. I put painter's tape on the top of them as well just to hold them in place. Otherwise, they're not super tight on where they go into, so it's not going to want to hold the threaded insert in place. And then all the wiring underneath here, just so it's not rattling around, I just used electrical tape on the inside to keep it in place. And then the exact same thing for each one of these threaded inserts where the lights are. Flat side on the front, threaded insert on the back. And then each one of these tabs is screwed into the light, and then you screw those into each thread insert on each side. And the lights are actually movable, so you can tilt them up and down to make sure that your beam goes into the same direction for every single one of them. And you can actually, once the whole thing is mounted, you can actually slightly move these once the cap is on to make sure that the beam is all in the right place. So now we're gonna press down on this whole thing. All right, so we got the whole thing pressed down now. Just make sure that your wire that's gonna be going into the hood is coming out the right-hand side. And you'll notice on the cover, there's a little indent. So this is gonna be on the passenger side if you're in a North American car. It's gonna come out right the side here, and then it will follow down the A-pillar, the passenger side A-pillar. So we're gonna put the cap back on, and make sure that this lip right here goes underneath this lip right here. It should just slide like that. And although it doesn't seem secure right now, as soon as you get those 4 bolts into it, she'll be chicken. And notice how it's actually lining up when I'm screwing it in. Before, when I tried, if I didn't have that painter's tape holding the washer with the threaded insert on the back, this thing would have just been slipping off and they probably would have slid down the windshield, so that really helps. Okay, so now we're gonna be doing the wire hiding and then the wiring up. So just pop the hood. There's this A-pillar cap and a second A-pillar cap. So we're just gonna remove this one first. That easy, just on clips. And a pretty big Torx bit. We're gonna unscrew this, slide this down. Shit, that was loose. All right, and now we're gonna feed this wire like this, and that is slick. So they give you like a lot of this this wiring loom. Obviously it's too much considering it's just going right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off about a chunk like that, add it to the Bluetooth module, and then this wire will go directly to the Bluetooth module and this one will go to the battery. Okay, so we just fed the wire in the A-pillar. On this North American vehicle, there's nothing really back here behind the hinge to put it behind. That way it doesn't get caught by the hinge. So what I did is I just ran it between the cowl and the front right fender. And then I just followed it along the side of the hinge and I stuck it in this, I guess it'd be an inner cowl between the plastic cowl and then the fender liner. So I just kind of jammed it in there because we're going to attach the positive and negative to the module and then the module to the battery here. Okay, so fuck, this is like way too long. Whatever. So I need to get I'm just gonna attach this Bluetooth module somewhere around here. Now that is secure on there. And then this is the outgoing wires. I'm gonna attach those to the battery terminal. So positive is right here, and your negative ground is that bolt right down there. Okay, I think I'm supposed to put underneath the nut, right? That would make the most sense. This is just the Bluetooth ring, so on, off, on, off. Cool. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug everything back up, do the A-pillar. So remember, bolt at the bottom, meet up with this bolt. Make sure this is tucked. Just like that. Slid it up. until your hole meets up with the plastic trim. And that's that. So lights are on. All the wires completely hidden. You can see a tiny little bit in between the hood and the fender. Otherwise, they're all hidden in here. Can't see anything in between the A-pillar cover, and the only little bit is the bit sticking out of the pod light cover. And the hood. We'll do some tests here, and we'll put those in at the end of the video so you guys can see how bright they are. And yeah.